And I'm also in the Bahamas, in County Westmeath. It's either the Bahamas or Mauritius or whereas, but isn't it gorgeous? Are you enjoying the sun? Do you like the sun? I love the sun once I'm dressed appropriately and I don't have to wash floors. So today I'm having a live with Aine. And Aine is a teacher, a yoga teacher, and she's going to be coming on soon now. So this is my mindful medley, the first in a while. The last one was Michelle from Canada, and I was able to upload the live to my YouTube channel. So that's another way of being able to follow me. And I'm going to be posting mindfulness content there. So you're welcome to follow. So halfway through the year, halfway through July, and all is good. I'm working away in the background on lots of ways to serve and support you in, with, and from sensing moments. Today we're going to be just chatting how mindfulness is in Aine's life. And before I even talk to her as a yoga teacher, now I'm going to invite her. Hi Aine. Going to be as seamless as it was with Michelle, that Aine accepts the invitation and joins. Okay, so, oh, hello.
Oh, I need to turn around, Eilish.
Hello.
Hello. I'm going to move this back a little bit so you can see all of me. One moment.
My God,
I'm
there's
here.
twice. Seamless.
Sorry?
This twice. This is, you're the second.
It's fine.
It has been seamless. Just, we got on.
Seamless. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
One girl, it took us a half an hour to get, and people kept joining and leaving and joining and leaving. And it was great in the end, but it took a long time. Aine, do you get?
To join and connect and everything.
Yes. How is your Wi-Fi?
Well, it's amazing to be here. This is I should be
okay?
Fine.
Yeah.
I can move too.
No, that's lovely. It was just a tad blurry when you were back a bit, but that's perfect.
How is that? Are we good?
That's perfect. So, Aine, you're very welcome to Mindful Medley, my Monday Mindful Medley on a Wednesday.
Isn't that lovely though? You know, isn't that just a perfect example, Eilish, of going with the flow?
Yeah, you know? And now it's all we have, so it's now. Yeah. It's now. Tell everyone about who Aine is, please.
Who is Aine? Right now, Aine has just come in from being outside for a couple of hours, so Aine is extremely hot and warm, but happy to be here. So first of all, Gurmila Mahaga, thank you so much for having me on and for asking me to come on. And I've heard wonderful things of your mindful, your conversations and chats with other amazing women. So who is Aine? First and foremost, I am a mama to a little 2-year-old boy. And I, in terms of business, which I'm sure we'll be discussing at some stage, I'll move back so you can see all of me. I feel like half of my head is, that's better, isn't it? Half of my head is cut off. In terms of business, if we were to go down that road, I qualified initially, Eilish, as a primary school teacher. Before I actually did that, I did my degree and master's in Ancoelga in Irish, and I also did a higher diploma in Irish translation. So somewhere inside of me there is an Irish translator as well. So I did that before I did my teaching. Then went teaching for a number of years, and 2 years ago had a little boy, Fi Tabukalin Biogagum, and I was tá sé go hálainn tá ceart agat gur maith agat. He's an angel, so he's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And we're so blessed to have him in our lives. We really, really are. So I guess he's a big part of my life, of course, but of our conversation, because I resigned when I gave birth to him 2 years ago, nearly 2.5 years ago, and I'm on a road now, or my journey now is, I have my own business, and I have always wanted to. For me, it's always been so important to be at home with him. I always said and had this conversation with my husband before we were husband and wife, if we're blessed enough to have children, I want to be at home with them. I want to be the one to raise them, and I'll do what I need to do to make that happen. So I'm working on that, and we're doing well, and you make adjustments, don't you? So
you're busy.
I'm busy. I am. I'm a busy
lady. You're busy. I know there's 24 hours in my day. I think you might have an extra 12 hours in your day because you get a lot in while caring for Ronnie while he's awake. I know that from you.
Yeah.
So well done, and congratulations to have so many visuals. Well, we can talk about, before you came on, I said that this is our mindful medley. So it's how mindfulness is in your life. And I took a choice to say that before Anya tells me about mindfulness in her life, the fact that you're a yoga teacher, yoga is mindful anyway. So mindfulness plays a big part in your life, would you say?
I would. Now it does. Yes, definitely. If I met you, Eilish, 10 years ago, I would bank on it that I wouldn't have known what the word mindfulness meant. I was a gym bunny. I was in the bodybuilding world. I was competing at nationals and playing football to a high level, and I was go, 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 and I just
okay.
I was never. It was always, I guess you think I'm busy now. I was busy back then in a different way, but the difference, mindfulness is the difference. Now I'm still extremely busy. I'm not bodybuilding anymore. Now I'm a yogi, and for me, it's brought so much more. My life is just, I would explain or describe it as, it's calm. Well, it's chaotic as well, but it's how you approach your day, isn't it? So mindfulness really, really helps me. For example, if we're sitting down and things are getting a bit, and like I mentioned, he's over 2 now, so we have moments where there are explosions of emotion and everything, and I welcome that in, because that's so important. We want to work through those feelings, whatever they are, at the moment. So there's times where in front of my little boy I have said, okay, Mama's going to take a breath. Sometimes it might be 4, 5 or 6, and he sees me doing that, and then he starts but it's all about slowing down, isn't it? It's all about slowing down. I wasn't slow a couple of years ago. My pace of life was so fast. And yoga has gifted me that. Being a mama has gifted me that as well, because I've chosen to be at home with him. It's full on, it's intense, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I had a conversation with a friend about that yesterday. And it's my choice to live this life, but I can just see how much it's benefiting him, and it's benefiting me and my family as well. Everything we do, I do my best to be mindful about things. Now, it's not always like that, because we're human, aren't we? We're here having a human experience. So it's.
And Carmel, who lives up the road from you, says you can't be. You can't be mindful all the time. Thank you for joining. We're just here having a mindful chat. You can't be, because you're human as well, and we're here to have the human experience. And well, I just have to go back there where your little son at 2, over 2, sees that if either you're upset or he's upset, that it's breath that you're relying on to anchor you. So from an early age, that's what he sees. It's not that, oh, Mummy's doing yoga with me.
Yeah.
He just knows to rely on his breath, that his central nervous system is going to be balanced.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I actually, you just reminded me of something. I was really, really tired. I think it was last week. I was extremely tired one of the days. So I lay on the couch and he was with me. And I usually wouldn't be, you know, on the couch half asleep, but this day I was so tired and I had to. So he was beside me and he climbed up on top of me and he looked at me and he didn't say anything, Eilish. He just gave me the biggest hug for about a minute. That's a long time for a 2-year-old. He was silent. He didn't say anything. And then he looked up at me and he said, "What's the matter, Mama?" And my heart just melted.
I'm putting my hand on my heart here. I
have tears in my eyes thinking about it because I can just feel how I felt at that time. It was. I think I started crying because it was such a beautiful moment. I used to be teaching in school and there's so much emphasis on maths and everything, but emotional intelligence is that's my number one. You know, the maths, reading, that comes in time when the child is ready, you know, for that stage of life. But to be able at 2 and 4 months
to verbalize, to sense, first of all, like my business is sensing moments, and I called it that, to use your senses to be in the moment. And I took a long time to choose it. Roll on to my daughter, 18, and yesterday there's driving going on and it's driving Miss Eilish at the moment, and there is no, in the front of the passenger seat of a car, there is no brake or clutch. But I do put my feet forward quite a bit, and there was a moment of tension, and both of us could have erupted, both of us, because both of us were wrong and both of us were right. And both of us said sorry.
Yeah.
And both of us listened. It wasn't always the case, and I'm the adult, so I always take responsibility. I'm the adult to lead the way. I didn't always do it as kindly as that yesterday, but how it could have erupted into slamming doors when we came home, not wanting to come out in the car again with me. By 18, I've read that your child has spent 80% of their time with you. By the age of 18.
Yeah.
So I want to make those moments last. I came to all of this quite late in life. I was over 40, learning all of this. Thankfully, I do it now.
Yes. And what a gift that is, you know. I mean, that's something to be celebrated as well, isn't it? You know, you're here now, you have that awareness now.
Yeah.
And, you know, whatever the different life that you may have had beforehand, like that's okay, because you know now what feels right and what doesn't feel right, because you're, like you said, you're sensing all of the moments, aren't you, and feeling it.
Well, I say mindfulness changed our house into a home. I love my family for who they are, instead of resenting them for who they weren't, never were, or never will be.
Yeah.
And my family are exactly the same as the first day I met them. So where was the problem? Where was the issue?
Yeah.
I had to work through a lot. And thankfully getting out in nature. I love water. Lorna was saying one day, go near water. And I was like, I have to go to Donabate. And then I have a river beside my house. So I climbed the fence and down to the river. And I sat there for ages and I just let the water flow by. I love walking in grass in my bare feet. I love walking in among trees. What's your go-to for nature? And you're very lucky where you live.
I am. What's my go-to for nature? Well, first of all, you mentioned Lorna. Lorna is I guess our one of our mentors, isn't she, from the Mum Boss Network, and gives us a lot of support. What is my go-to for nature? I'm currently in my bare feet. I'm inside at the moment. I came in for the call. I'm always in my bare feet all the time. It grounds us, doesn't it? I was going to say, I find it so grounding. I can feel it on a cellular level when I take off my shoes. My go-to is, I've been at the beach every day, Eilish, for the past, I think my husband said that we had just done a 7-day streak, golden streak. We've been so blessed with our gorgeous weather. So I'm 2-3 minutes from the beach. I am always there. I have a forest, woods that's a couple of minutes walk for me as well.
Okay, yeah.
I have a gorgeous tree in my garden, so I am always outside in nature, and it's so calming for, like, I can feel it, I can feel my nervous system even just take a breath. I was outside in a beanbag in our garden last night. A friend of my husband said, "Oh, are you watching the match? The World Cup was on." And I said, "No, I'm going outside to watch the plants and the trees." And I was doing a little bit of work as well, but it was just so calming. On my beanbag in my garden, my bare feet. I had my PJs on actually, and I was just surrounded by nature. And that's something I would go to nature, or call on nature every day, and I can, my little boy's the same. He's always running around in his bare feet. His clothes are always dirty. We had a friend visit recently, and she said, "Do you want to change his top on you?" Because it was filthy, and she meant well, because it was quite dirty. But I said, "No, it's fine," because I knew he was going to be outside for another 2 hours. But that's a sign of a happy child,
Yeah. In our course, we learned that being in nature, you're at the highest frequency, because nature is the highest frequency. So if you're out there, I learned that if you hold a tree, you receive the negative ions from them. If we're wearing shoes all the time, the leather or whatever sole, it's blocking us. So there are lots of ways we can do things, and it's to be aware, isn't it? You can't make changes unless you're aware. There's something, when you're off, that ick feeling. But if you're not aware of the triggers, you can't make changes. How does your body show you a trigger?
I had one 2 weeks ago, last week, when I lay down on the couch to have some time out just to be with myself, even though it's hard to be with myself during the day, when I'm at home with my little boy. I started getting a headache, and immediately, I don't get headaches that often, so when I do, well, there's always, something is up. That to me is my body screaming at me, saying, "Okay, Anya, you need to slow down here." So that's the first thing that came to mind that happened to me last week. And I did, in the past, I would have powered through and gone to the gym at 5:30 the next day. But now, I said, I acknowledged the fact that it was there, and I said, okay, I need to let go of something, what's going on. And it was a busy week. And I focused on my sleep. Sleep is so crucial. I focused on my nutrition. I've actually cut back on, I love running. I still enjoy the gym, etc. But everything is now in a mindful way, actually. So I listen. I do listen now. There are times when I don't, but I'm definitely getting better at it, and it pays off, because our body's always talking to us.
Shelley has joined, and she's fitness, and Katrina has joined for the abstract attitude. And we welcome any questions, girls, if you'd like to ask Anya anything. Anya has beautiful yoga classes on the beach. I go to Donabate, which is about an hour and 10 minutes, and you're the next. Would you be the next beach up, even though it's the same beach? Yeah. So I know where Anya does her classes, and they're Sunday morning, and they're fabulous. But that's the yoga side. There's also the Irish side, and how you combine. Do you go into total flow when you start talking Irish? Or when are you more in flow? Or is it the constructive interference? I learned about Bruce Lipton talking about constructive interference. When you're speaking Irish, teaching yoga, does time just go by without you even noticing?
That happens to me a lot. It does, in a class. Yes, 100%. I'm smiling because I always come home from my classes. Sorry, I'm not answering that. I'll answer that question in 10 seconds. I always come home from my classes and my husband just says, you know, sometimes I might go and I might be a bit tired, but you know, you just take a breath, I ground myself. I always come home smiling, Eilish, and he just says, you know, he loves his job, but he just said, I would love a job where I am smiling as much as you are when you come home from teaching, or come from our office upstairs, you know, come downstairs from teaching an Irish class. So sorry, Eilish, she said, am I in flow?
Oh, flow is when a day could go by, and the minute you say, God, I'm hungry, or what time is it? That moment is over.
Yeah, I do. That's something I'm working on as a yoga teacher to be. I need to, you know, check the clock a number of times because I just, you know, get so immersed in it. And my classes are bilingual, so like you mentioned, so I have the Irish side of things. I do online Irish classes. My yoga classes are always bilingual. Sometimes people might message me to say, I have no Irish. Will I, you know, will I be able to come? And yes is always the answer, because I guess I teach in a way that everybody will understand. Whatever I say, or you know, you can obviously have a look and see what I'm doing as well. But flow would be the main word, you know, from the beginning to the end. When I get there, I'm so relaxed, and that for me is such a gift. You know, to call my work relaxing. There are stressful parts of it behind the scenes, the admin side of things. You know, we wear so many hats as business owners, but the work itself, as in the yoga classes or whether it's Irish classes, I just get so much enjoyment out of them, and I find them so fulfilling. When I have students come up to me, so maybe older or younger than me or a similar age, and maybe if I was on the beach, like you mentioned, I was, you know, I might use the word on Ariga or Faraga, which is the sea or the seaside. I had a woman in her, probably in her 70s, come up to me a few weeks ago, and she was so overwhelmed with excitement and joy and gratitude to hear our native language being used, and she thanked me, and it was just such an honor to just have that, to share that moment with her. She said she hadn't heard that word since school, but the environment in which she heard it was so much more relaxing, that she said it's going to stay with me, you know. So it's embodied Irish is how I like to describe it, my teaching.
And you're creating such a lovely way, because who remembers their Irish class or their French class, because it depends on the person that walked in and stood at the top of the class.
Yeah.
And if he was just, or she was just there for a job, then it was just to do for the leaving cert. But when the passion, like my daughter asked me going to Limerick for her grad dress, if you weren't doing mindfulness and Reiki, what would your favorite job be? And I went, mindfulness and Reiki. So wow. I'm in flow as well.
Yeah.
I was an accountant previous. I still can do bank rec, a balance sheet, profit and loss. But this is what, and I just see, and Caroline has just joined, and I was at Tour Ard. If it's okay, is it okay to mention this, Caroline? I was at Tour Ard, and I knew Caroline was there in January, but I didn't get to see her. And she just said to me in a voice note after, didn't get to talk to you, but every time I saw you, I knew you were doing the right thing, because I was glowing. So thanks for coming on, Caroline. It's great to see you here. We're talking with Aine about Irish and yoga. How is Aine with Aine when she has 8 things to do and she gets 6 of them done very well?
Oh, okay. So the
last thing, going to sleep at night after your cup of tea at 9:30,
which I do have.
I know you very well.
Yeah, which I do have, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it immensely. Great question. The Aine I mentioned, who did bodybuilding and who was, you know, super, you know, I guess it was I describe it now as unhealthy, the amount of how busy and full on things were. I would have been calling myself lazy, even sometimes probably that I would have seen that as a failure. Just being honest, I'm not, I'm not going to.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, yeah.
We're here for.
I it's just an interesting you asked that, because I wrote down a to-do list of things I had to do last weekend, and I didn't get everything done. And this is actually perfect to share this on this call, because I had a moment that, well, I had like 5 seconds. That's all we need to check in and see, okay, I had planned on getting everything done and I didn't. But I said to myself, the things that I have completed, the tasks that needs to be done, surely they're the most important, because if they're the ones that I went, I reached for, I did my best to complete them first, even on a subconscious level, they were the most important, and the rest can wait, So I would definitely be in a better place, or I'd be a lot kinder to myself now. I'm not again, I'm sure there will be times when I have a list and it may be stressful in the future if things need to get done, but I think being a mom as well helps with that, because you have X, Y, and Z that you want to get done, and the day goes by so quickly, Eilish. And again, it comes back to the breath for me. I just have to take a breath and say, okay, but look at everything we did achieve today. And for me, sometimes being present, not sometimes, sorry, all of the time, by me being present with my little boy, that for me is my goal in life. That is my dream, to just give him the best upbringing experience of a life that he can get. And by me owning my business and building and growing my own business, that's allowing me, life by design, that's allowing me to create a wonderful life. And for myself as well, of course, I want that for me too.
Yeah.
So to make it, sorry, this is a long answer to your question. I would be in a position now where I would be a lot kinder to myself.
Good. What have you coming up, Aine? What's coming up in the near future for you? Would you like to share?
Yes, I would. So I have something exciting coming up in August that I'm still working on. So it's basically, I actually have, this is my first time sharing it here, which is fine, isn't it? That's okay. I will be starting in 2 weeks' time online classes. So you mentioned Shelley, so I might be getting some advice from Shelley. So everything to date has been in person, and that's wonderful for people who are near where I live, but I've had a few messages, etc. So I'm moving my bilingual classes online. I do teach Irish classes online. I've been doing that for years, but for the yoga side of things, this is going to be new for me. So that's going to be in 2 weeks' time, the 20-something of July, I'm starting. I have a 4-week block of bilingual classes, which will lead into something that's even more exciting. But I'll keep that for now, yeah.
I'll share, and I'm sharing, I will share your link when I'm posting this. I'm getting all the tech now. I'm able to share and upload and download and right load and left load and tag. And, yeah.
That's great.
I thoroughly enjoyed this. Normally people say, can we come back and do part 2? So you could get an invitation to do part 2, because even though we're the same people, we're different. I said that one of the first ladies I had on many moons ago, it's so different. So she's going to come back on, and we're going to have a chat.
Amazing. And I guess we're all in different seasons as well, aren't we?
Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for joining. How was it?
Oh, fabulous. This is my first live. Yeah. So how was it? I feel like I've been talking to a friend. It's just being in your company in person or online. It's so, I just feel so relaxed, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, a year ago, I would have probably said no to this opportunity to chat with you on a live, because I would have been, questioning myself or saying, oh my God. Yeah. I would have been thinking lots of things.
Who am I to have a live? Do I deserve a live?
Yeah.
I can't do it. Mm-hmm. I'll stumble. I've nothing to say.
Yeah. We had lots to say.
And we had lots to say at the yoga picnic. We could have done with it being a weekend. Wasn't it lovely?
It was fabulous.
It's lovely. And it was lovely that we met at the same time. We joined each other's company. Then when you had something to do, I was holding conversation. And you came back and I was still holding
I
conversation.
was in the same place an hour and a half later talking to a lady.
And she's going to be on 2 weeks' time.
Fabulous. Oh, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
That would be a great chat.
I have Syra next week, and then I'm going to have see will Rachel come in the week after.
Lovely, lovely. Oh, Eilish, gur míle maith agat. Thank you so much.
I don't know what your welcome is in Irish.
Oh, fáilte.
Oh, is it?
Fáilte.
Oh, is it? Okay, that's what your oath is. Hello.
Fáilte wrote you. Yeah, Diagwish. Hello.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You have me talking Irish again, and a lady that works in where I go to the dentist, she's German, and she's speaking Irish. So I said, well, if she's home from Germany, living here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I rang her one day. I looked up, hello, how are you? Hello, is that in German? And she answered the phone, and I said it as I thought it was right. And she said, sorry, you must have the wrong number. Goodbye. She didn't recognise that I was speaking German.
Oh, you tried.
I'll stick with English.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Bye. It was lovely. See you soon.
Wonderful.
Bye. Bye, everyone, and thanks for joining. Eilish, we're just imagine. Have you ever been in the company of two Eilishes?
Have I been?
Yeah.
I have not until now, I believe.
You're looking at one, and there's another Eilish after joining. Eilish, I invite you to watch back the replay because we're just heading off. Bye.
Oh, it's on.